Hope you're having a great day. A fair amount of time has passed since I uploaded my last video on Infinite Jest. 167 days, to be exact. And for that, I apologize. I fully intended to conclude this series in my fall semester, but I didn't, and for that I once again apologize. I kept pushing it back due to other demands on my time and a lack of direction on what I wanted to do with that video. And it's a sense of direction that I still don't have. But I want to close this chapter in the channel and move on to other things. But with that being said, I also want to revisit Infinite Jest later on, within the next year or two, and make a more well-rounded conclusion that's about the overarching plot and everything else in this book. And due to the time that's elapsed since I finished reading the book on August 9th, the exact day I said I would finish the book, there's a bit of a haze surrounding my thoughts exactly how it ended. And because of that, I'm not going to attempt to discuss how it ended, because that just wouldn't turn out well. Looking back on setting a goal for myself for finishing the book by August 9th, I think that setting that goal for myself to finish it by then certainly led to me getting through the book a lot quicker than I would have, because there's some portions in it that were slow valleys in between amazing peaks. Not to say that the valleys weren't good, it's just it would have been more likely for me to lose interest if I didn't publicly declare a goal to finish by August 9th. So yeah, in lieu of discussing the broad overarching plot, I am just going to discuss one remaining theme / idea that I think is worth more discussion. And once again, my apologies for how this series is concluding. But with all that out of the way, one of the biggest ideas that was littered throughout Infinite Jest is the importance of cliché sayings, which often elicit a roll of the eyes or a dismissal due to their banality. However, I think that cliché sayings, as noted in one of the endnotes on page 1040, if I can get there real quick, which I can, is that a former acquaintance said the mad stork always used to say cliches earned their status as cliches because they were so obviously true. Which on face level doesn't do anything about the banality of cliches. They could still be overused. But however, I would posit that a cliche sayings and cliche advice about life are important. Or a bare minimum should not be brushed off to the side or be eye-roll inducing just because they are cliches. They can be eye-roll inducing for other reasons, but just because something is overused isn't a reason to dismiss it. Examples of other sentences on cliches and thoughts on cliches can be found on page 291 as well, which almost nothing important that ever happens to you happens because you engineer it. It's a pretty cliche saying, but it means a lot, and I even discussed it earlier in a different video because it really resonated with me. Another one at the AA meetings in the book, attended by Don Gately, who lives at the halfway house in the book. At the AA meetings, it says on the walls things that seem pretty simple, such as one day at a time. And it's easy to just read something like that and be like, okay, yeah, I get it, it's one day at a time, what about it? But I think the meaning that you can imbue onto a cliche is really what gives it the power. Or if you're willing to have it resonate with you, then it can actually be worthwhile. This isn't to say that all cliche sayings are fountains of wisdom, or that those house decorations which say live, laugh, love necessarily hold within them a deep truth about the world. But I think that even something such as a live, laugh, love sign that can hold a deep truth if we allow it to. That is, if we don't instantaneously write it off as something that a 40-something suburbanite wine mom at 2 p.m. would have in her living room, and rather view a sign like that as with fresh eyes every time you see it and remove past associations from it, that we might truly stumble upon something profound within it. And that's exactly what had to happen to Don Gately when he was going through the AA recovery process. It says, Gately couldn't for the life of him figure out how just sitting on hemorrhoid hostile folding chairs every night, looking at nose pores and listening to cliches could work. But it did work for him, through looking at things with childlike eyes. So, that's all I have really left to say on the topic of cliches and Infinite Jest. I'm sure there are more things I could have said on here, but I don't think it's worthwhile. So, until next time, have a great day.